I lie to myself every time I walk into Ross or Marshall's. Just a quick look, I tell myself, but my feet already know where they're taking me, straight to the glass case in the back. That case is always a mix of chaos and comfort. David Beckham instinct still hanging on from 2007. Dracar Noir, the black bottle half our dads wore when cologne still came with chest hair. Nautica Voyage, forever called the best cheapie, just waiting to be thrown into a gym bag you probably never take to the gym. Explorer, still trying to be Aventus. Dylan Blue, still selling the promise of compliments. I've bought them all before. Some are still on my shelf, half used, dust settling in. Others were sprayed once, then handed off to someone that acted more excited about them than I could ever be. But the pull is real, and it's never just about the scent. It's about the price, the red sticker, the crossed out number, the little voice in your head whispering, "You're winning." You open Fragrantica even though you've already read the reviews. You check batch codes on a bottle that's not even rare. Not because you need to know, it's because you want to feel like you're making the smart move. Then you notice someone else hovering nearby. You're both pretending to browse, but in your head, it's a race. He grabs something first. You tighten your grip on Explorer like it's the last bottle on earth. And that's when it hits you. You're not chasing the fragrance, you're chasing the feeling, the deal, the little dopamine hit of being the guy who found something good before someone else did. The truth, most of these bottles will never become anyone's signature. They just sit there, another bottle on a shelf that already has too many. But still, we show up, still, we hunt. Last week, I stood there holding Explorer, and I paused, not for dramatic effect, just long enough to hear myself think. Do I want this, I asked, or do I just want to not leave empty-handed? And for once, I set it down, walked out with nothing, but somehow it didn't feel like a loss. It felt like I'd finally figured something out. Sometimes the thrill isn't in what you bring home, it's knowing when to leave it behind. All right, here we go. Fresh box, brand new. We're gonna open up a few, I don't know how many, but we're gonna see what's in this box. I can't wait. I'm more excited than probably you guys are. All right, first bottle. And I didn't make these easier to open, but I'm gonna rip into them like it's Christmas anyway. Okay, this is Bond number 9. And this is, shit, it doesn't say on the bottom. Let me see. I want to say, oh man, you think I would remember what this is, but I don't. But it smells damn good. It's very clean. Let me get a tester strip here. Tester strip, and by tester strip, I mean a little cut up piece of t-shirt, which you think I would have just ordered some tester strips off of Amazon or something. Oh, that is really good. It's super clean and super classy. I don't know why Bond number 9 seems to get so much dislike or so much, bad chat about it, but I pretty much like everything that they have. So if this were going to remind me of something else, oh, it says Wall Street on the bottle. Okay, so it says Wall Street, so I'm gonna assume that this is Bond number 9 Wall Street, but it's super clean, it's super good. This just reminds me of spring, and that's a definite for me. So we're gonna put this on the shelf, that's staying, no reason to get rid of it. All right, another bottle. This one feels very similar in weight and very similar in shape, so I'm going to assume it is, yep. Okay, this one's Bond number 9, and this one is, again, doesn't say on the frickin' bottom, but we're gonna spray it and see if it jogs my memory. Okay, I believe this is called New York Oud because this is definitely an Oud Rose combo. Now this one doesn't have the cap, so I'm sure this was a tester. Actually, it says tester on the bottom. Oh my God, that is good. But I could tell that for one, this leans a little feminine. Even though it's oud heavy, it definitely leads a little feminine with that rose. And another thing I could tell about it is you wouldn't want to do more than one spray of this unless you want to kill people around you. But that's going to go on the shelf for now. Like, I'm not 100% sure if that one's a keeper. That might be one that comes off. All right, next one. Again, feeling a little bit familiar here. Familiar weight, familiar shape. Get out of there. Okay. Bond number 9, Lafayette Street. Now, I like that they put this on the front because there's no way for me to get this wrong. I know what it is because they put it on the front. I don't know why it wouldn't be on the bottom. Now, this one, I remember that I got it when it first came out because I forget what reviewer it was, but they were like, oh my God, it's the best thing ever. You've got to have it. And this is pretty much a full bottle. And I pretty much sprayed this once and didn't wear it ever since. And I think it's one of those ones that's really polarizing, almost like there was a Versace back in the day, and I forget what it's called. It's totally escaping me, but it really resembles this. And this gives me a original Jean-Claude Gaultier, like La Malle, like the original old school one. Gives me that same vibe, but not the same, just the same feeling that that one gives me. To where either you're on the bus that you love it, or you're like, no, not for me. This is a not for me. I'm not going to put it on the shelf just because I'm pretty certain well, I'll put it on the shelf just because on these ones that are opaque, even though I can feel that it's full, it's so hard to tell someone, oh, it's 80% full or it's 90% full, because you really can't tell unless you knew the weight of the bottle beforehand and after. I guess you could figure it out that way, but we'll see. Okay, next one. Again, bottle feeling the same weight. Okay, Bond number 9, Bleecker Street. I already know what this is, and I already know it's a 100% keeper. I don't even need to spray it, but I'm going to spray it anyway because I miss it. Oh my God, that is so good. People say that this has a blueberry note in it. They go off and all this stuff. I get none of that. All I get is just really, this has a vibe to me, like at first whiff. And I've thought about this with some of their other fragrances. Some of them almost smell like mixes of one another, or almost like, you know how a perfumer has, 6 different renditions and these 5 didn't make it, but the 6th one did. This almost reminds me of like they mix like the rendition number 4 that, didn't sell, but then they couldn't come up with something else. So they took one of those other renditions that didn't make it the first time and they're like, yeah, we'll just name this something else. So to get to the point, this reminds me a little bit of Chez Bond, which Chez Bond really reminds me of Creed Green Irish Tweed, just like a lighter, more spring version of it. But this has a little bit of that in there. But anyway, that's an absolute 100% keeper without a doubt. Okay. Next. Man, this must have been a Bond number 9 box. I promise you I'm not a shill for Bond number 9. This is Bond number 9, Chez Bond, basically the one that I just talked about. And that's exactly what this is. This is Green Irish Tweed Spring Edition, or just how there was Creed Aventus and then Creed Aventus Cologne. This would be like Green Irish Tweed Cologne. That's exactly what this is. And as a matter of fact, man, I hate to, I don't even want to say it. I don't want to say that I actually like it better, but this is so good that, you don't have to worry about overspraying, but it's not like it's weak either. You can really lay this stuff on and it really smells good and it stays with you, but it's light enough to where you're not choking people out if you spray it a little too heavy. This one's a definite yes. I would put the, the Bleecker Street and that like neck and neck. All right, here we go. Another bottle, feels very, very similar. You guys are gonna hate this episode, aren't you? Okay, so this one, I bought this one. This is, I think it's called bond.com or HTTP. I bought this because a guy named Big Beard B, he said, man, it's a lot like Creed Aventus. You've got to have it. And there was no one selling this anywhere near me, even in the high-end department stores. This was like not a thing. So I had to search for it. I found it finally online, and I remember overpaying for it just to get a hold of it because I thought it was the next Creed Aventus killer. And I got it. And I'm like, this doesn't smell, to my nose, anything like Creed Aventus. Like nothing at all. I mean, okay, now that I'm smelling it, I can see where they're coming from, but it doesn't smell like you're comparing it to Creed Aventus. It smells like one of the early versions of like Pineapple Vintage, where it was like an interpretation of Creed Aventus. This has that vibe, but it's almost like you took Pineapple Vintage when they first started out and you mixed it with a scent of peace for him, which is another Bond number 9. It smells like those two mixed together. So now that I'm smelling it, I can see what he might have been saying about it smells like Aventus, but it's definitely, if you put this next to Aventus and smelled the two, it'd have been 100% no. But now taking a break from Aventus for a little while, okay, I can see it's really good. There's no doubt about that, and it's definitely a keeper. So there's that. Okay, here we go. We might as well just get this out of the way so people that have already tuned out can tune out and never see another Bond number 9 fragrance again. But here we go. The one that I just talked about, a scent of peace for him, which it's missing the little black bow, and this doesn't have a cap. So this might have been, it doesn't say tester on the bottom, but because it doesn't have the cap, it's leading me to believe that either this is a tester or I just lost the cap and the bow. Oh God, that is good. It might be one of my favorite of all time Bond number 9 scents. I don't know how you can get much better than that. That is just really, really, really good. Like that one, just smelling that gave me chills. So that's definitely a keeper. All right, here we go. Continuing on. Oh, would you look at that? So weird. I didn't expect this. It's a Bond number 9. All right, so this one's called Riverside Drive. I don't really remember this, but obviously I wore it. Let's see. Ooh, that's good. So this is really, this is spring. And I know I've said that about like 4 other ones, but maybe that's their deal, is like they do spring really well, but that is really good. It's very green. So this is one that I wouldn't say, hey, go out and smell it as soon as you can. It's good. It's not like fantastic. It's not like, you know, scent of peace for him or like Bleecker Street, but it is good. It's definitely pleasant, and it's definitely a Florida scent. So I will definitely wear that. All right, so here we go. This one is a smaller bottle. This one is I Love New York 7/24/11, which I don't remember the whole story behind it, but I believe that's when same-sex marriage became legal. I'm not sure, so please correct me on that if I'm wrong. But this one reminds me, and this is probably second or third bottle, and I could only find these little small ones, and I believe I actually found it at Ross, and when I found it again at Ross, I bought like the other 2, and this is the only one that I have left. This reminds me of, you know those little candies that you push the head down and it shoots out a candy? Pez. This reminds me of Pez, which it doesn't sound like it would be good to wear on your body, but it's really good. It's like so good. And it's just like the right mix of, you could wear it, you know, spring, summer, and you could overspray and it's still good. This is a definite keeper, and that's a really good one. Here we go. We're just gonna get this out. Get this out now. I Love New York, and I don't know which one this is. I Love New York. If anyone knows what the blue bottle is, I Love New York, please let me know. I don't even remember it, and it must have, you know, must have been one of those ones. It's a smaller bottle, so this is the 1.7. That's good. This is feminine. So this is gonna go on my wife's vanity. Not like super feminine, but I know she'd really enjoy this. This is like spring, light. She had one that she really, really loved. It was called I Love New York Earth Day. And I wanted to get her another bottle like as a surprise for her birthday. And it's been discontinued long enough to where people are out of their mind on how much it costs. So I wasn't about to do it. But the good news is this smells pretty good. So I'm going to put this on her vanity and, you know, I'm sure she'll enjoy it. All right, we're going to do one more and it's not a Bond number 9. So that way we can at least leave this off with something that's not a Bond number 9. Does that sound fair? I promise I'm not sponsored by them. I just really must have liked them. Okay, this one is Gucci Sport. So it's Gucci by Gucci, Gucci Sport Pour Homme. All right, here we go. Neat little cap. Yeah, I'm a no on this one. It's good, but it's definitely not something I would wear. I don't know. Well, obviously I did wear the out of it, but stuff out of it. I'm sorry. I'll bleep that out. Oh, it has like a fleeting, like, oh, that's good. That's not good. So it's either something I just don't like is in there, or it's just, maybe it's gotten old. You know, I've never had a problem with fragrances getting old, but this, I just can't even imagine me ever like liking that. So I'm not sure, you know, why I would own it and why I would have used so much of it based off of how it smells right now. But who knows, maybe my tastes have changed. But on that note, we'll drop it here. We'll pick it up on the next one. Bye-bye.